Welcome to another video tutorial from Off With Their Threads. Today we are going to be making one of these quilted clutches that Amy has designed recently. This is the paw print clutch. It's fully lined, and we are going to go through the steps to make 5x7. So to get started, you will need your supply list that is available with your download. Like I say, we're going to be doing the 5x7. All the sizes are listed here. So for the 5x7, you're going to need calls for tearaway stabilizer. I am using no-show poly mesh instead, just because I like it soft. It doesn't make a crispy noise in my lined cotton bags. But you can make your choice. Pick what you prefer. You will need scissors, your thread. I'm using cotton, warm and natural batting. You'll need 2 pieces, one for the front, one for the back, and then a third small strip for the top. You will need your bag front top, lining piece, the 2 by, I believe it's 9 inches, panels for the front of your bag, a piece for the lining, a piece for the back, and a piece for the back lining, and a minimum 9-inch zipper here, number 3 zipper. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So I am looking at the tutorial that comes with your download. So it says step 1, hoop stabilizer and stitch out placement stitch for the bag. So I'm going to go ahead and run step 1, and then we will be back. Okay, so we've gone ahead and got our zipper placement and bag placement ran on our stabilizer. I'm going to use some of this double-sided tape I got on Amazon, and I like to use that to place my zipper with. And if you stick it right along the stitch there, it is out of the stitching path, so it won't gum up your needles. So you want to place your zipper so the teeth here line up with the very center of her placement line. So this step says, remove hoop from machine, secure zipper with tape over the zipper placement stitches, line up zipper teeth over the center placement line, and then we're going to take it back to the machine and tack down the zipper. Okay, our zipper has been tacked down. Next, we're going to place exterior top piece of fabric face down over the zipper, lining up the edge of fabric with the edge of the zipper. Then stitch tack down, which would be step 3. So we're going to take our piece of fabric here for the top panel. We're going to place it face down, lining up with the top of the zipper here. And it's going to run a tack down stitch here. Okay, now we're going to flip this top panel over and we're going to press, leaving room from the zipper teeth so our zipper doesn't get caught when it's used. Then we are going to take our small piece of batting, making sure it has the straight edge, clean edge, and we're going to open that back up. We're going to put the batting in, butt it right up against where we've created that crease there, and just finger press it back into place. And then we are going to run step 4, which will run a top stitch here to tack this down. Okay, we've got the top panel tacked down. I know it's hard to see here. I've used black thread, but this has been secured. So now we're going to do the same thing with this bottom portion of the bag. And we are going to take our first fabric strip and we are going to line it up with the bottom of the zipper, and we're going to tack that into place. So I'm going to go ahead and run that. Okay, our first strip has been placed. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to fold it down, we're going to press it, and then we're going to put our panel of batting in place. Fold this back down, finger press, and it's going, the next step here will be step 5, and it is going to, oops, sorry. Step 6, this will give our top stitch here. Okay, next will be step 7. It's going to be a placement stitch, so that's going to stitch approximately right in this area here. And it's going to tell us where to put our next fabric strip. So I'm going to run that so you can see what that looks like. Okay, so I've ran that placement step here. I tried to change thread color so you can see it better. So now what the directions tell us to do is to trim this excess fabric about 1/4 inch away from this line. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And it doesn't have to be perfect because it's not going to be seen once the bag is finished. It's just to get some of that excess board out of the way. And so now what you're going to do is you're going to take your next panel and you're going to line that up approximately right there where you've trimmed it. And then it's going to tack that down, and then the same thing, we're going to flip it over and we're going to press it. So I'll run that for you now. Okay, so I've ran that tack down there, and same thing, we're just going to fold it down and press it. And then the next step, will be the placement line for the next panel. And then we're just going to repeat the same steps. So I'll be right back. Okay, so that was step 9, which was the second panel on the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and trim the excess away again. And put our next panel on. Same thing, face down. I'm going to go ahead and run step 10. And that's going to tack that down. Okay, that was step 10. I'm going to flip that over. Press it. Then I'm going to run step 11, and it's going to run the placement step for the last panel. Okay, that was step 11. I've got my last placement step here, stitch down, so I'm going to go ahead and trim. Put my last panel down. And now I'm going to run step 12 and tack that into place. Okay, that was our final panel. We're going to flip that over and press it. Step 13 is the quilting pattern. So I have chosen the skulls, and I am going to run that now so you guys can see what that looks like, and then we will go ahead and start the lining of the bag. Alright, I just got done with step 14 for this design, and it was the skull quilting. So now the front of our bag is done, and it's time to put the interior lining on. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up the back here and cut out this area where the zipper will be exposed, and then get my fabric pieces ready. So I'll be right back with that. Okay, step 14 here is going to be the top lining. So I have folded over one edge and pressed it. And now I'm going to line that up here and put it just above where the zipper opening will be. And I am going to tape that into place. And run that next step, step 14, and that's going to tack the entire panel down. Okay, so you can see step 14 is complete here, and I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for the bottom panel and run that, and that will be step 15. So I'm just going to go ahead and place it again, leaving room for the zipper to open and close smoothly. Tape it into place. Okay, now we've got our back bottom panel lining tacked down. We are going to run basically we're going to be putting the back panel of the bag on. But if you are going to install a tab or tabs, some people like to put them at the top for crossbody bags. I'm going to put my tab on the side here. So I'm going to go ahead and first of all, open your zipper. Don't forget. Don't want to be crying later and ripping it out to start. Get back to that. So I'm going to place my tab right here. Kind of like to place it a little bit on an angle so it kind of flows with her clutch here. And tape it into place. Clearly that's not going to stick for me. Okay, so then you're going to place your exterior back piece on the top here, face down, so our right sides are together. And I am going to run the next step, which is step 16. And that's going to run the whole exterior of the bag, so it'll be completely closed at this point. All right, we've got, oh, look at that. I was supposed to put my, my batting there, so I'm just going to set it on this side here. Nope, I'm going to rerun that step. Okay, so I am going to put my batting down and rerun step 16, which is going to close the bag up. So let me redo that, and then we'll run the last step here. Hang on. Okay, now we got it right. So I've got my batting, I've got my exterior fabric face down here, right sides together. I've placed my tab, and now we can go ahead and put our lining on. I don't understand. My cutter here is just not pretty. Okay, so we're gonna put the last piece on here. Of course, if you're using a print, you want the right sides together. Mine's solid, so it doesn't matter. Place some tape. And go ahead and run step 17, our final step here. Okay, so step 17 here ran the outline of the bag again, but we have an opening here at the bottom for turning. So go ahead and remove the project from your hoop, and we're going to trim the bag about 1/4 of an inch around from the seams here. I like to get a little bit closer. Leave a little extra on the zipper there. And then when I get down to this opening here, I like to cut at an angle and leave about, I don't know, 1/2 inch or so for the turning, and then cut at an angle again at that next opening there. And then I go back and I trim everything that's not going to be the lining. So I'm going to leave the pink here, which is my lining, and I'm going to trim that bulk away there because we're not going to worry. We don't want to add bulk in the seams. That's unnecessary. So now we can go ahead and turn the bag out. And this is where we would close up that seam that's open at the bottom here. you can fold it in and either hand stitch it closed, or I like to use what is it, Wonder Tape, seam tape, or fabric tack. That's my favorite. No shame here. I just despise hand stitching, so I take a shortcut when I can, as long as I've tested it and know it can hold up to the wash. I'm happy to go that way. Anyway, once your bottom is closed up there, turn it back right side out through the zipper where we left that open there. Push out the corners. Take my tape off here. And then I've got this turning tool from Clover. I don't know the exact name of it, but it is pretty awesome. It doesn't poke through, especially when I'm doing vinyl bags, but it's got this rounded point here, and it just really pushes out corners nicely. So I can use that here to get everything out. And then, of course, you go ahead and attach your hardware here to the tabs, or give it a nice good press, give everything flat, and your bag is finished. I hope this answered some of your questions. I know a couple of you were a little bit confused about the process of these, but once you get the hang of it, they go super fast, and it's an awesome scrap buster. And for those of you who have the quilter strips, can't think of the name of them right now, but anyway, use them up. These are fabulous for that. So hope you understood everything, and if you have any questions, let me know, and I will help you the best that I can. Thanks.